This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Live from Florida, not from Los Angeles, we come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We truly believe and know that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and together we're awakening the world. So for the very first time, I'm actually recording video along with the podcast. So if you're on YouTube or you're watching this video somewhere, I apologize for the big microphone in front of my mouth. But for the podcast, it's really important that we actually put the microphone straight up to my mouth. Usually there's another, thing on top of the microphone. So when it's far away, you can hear me if I'm just doing a video without the microphone in front of me. But for the podcast's sake, we want to make sure that we have the best sound we can. So I'm very excited to say that I'm officially in Florida. I will be going back and forth to Los Angeles. I actually will be in Los Angeles next week. I'll be back and forth by coastal for sure. So I do still feel like Los Angeles is my home as well, along with Florida. And I am in West Palm Beach right now, but it may be Miami. We're just feeling into it over here. But what I feel for sure is that our community will be global because it is global. We most likely will be, in London, New York, Miami, and Los Angeles, because those are kind of the hubs of the world. So today I want to break on down some spiritually based coaching. So in the group the other day, one of the gals, we have like little pods that I train and develop all the spiritual entrepreneurs in. And whenever they have questions about business stuff, they will either bring it to the group coaching, which is, weekly call, or they put it in the pod. And one of the gals asked, she said, what should I do? One of her clients actually was moving as well. And she asked if she could put her coaching program on hold for a couple months while she got settled into her new place and her entire life. And she asked, what should I do? Meanwhile, some of the other coaches in there chime in and stuff. And so we want to give feedback all around from different perspectives and stuff. And one of the gals said, yeah, I would just be kind of like soft on her, no big deal. It can be stressful moving, blah, blah, blah. And my response was, absolutely not. And there's a reason for this. There's a reason why when a client shows up and they sign up and they invest in themselves, they commit to their dreams. And the truth is that commitment is a commitment. Commitment doesn't look like and doesn't have contingencies upon it in life. In fact, life is going to life. And we recognize that there's a reason why we have our clients sign a contract and why we have to show up. Imagine as the coach that you said, you know what? I'm moving right now, you guys. And so I'm just going to kind of put off all of our group coaching calls for a couple weeks, couple months while I get settled in. I hope that's okay with everybody, right? It wouldn't work. You'd have lawsuits all over the place. People would want their money back, right? It wouldn't work. So it's a simpatico relationship, this thing called a coach and a client. We are one and the same, and we're a reflection of how we show up for one another. Which brings me to, for sure, I think my favorite quote all times, which is, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. That the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. This was Goethe. And I've heard different people say it came from William H. Murray and Goethe. And so I actually believe it is from William H. Murray, but Goethe is the one who would always use it. So for many years, people thought it was Goethe. But regardless of who it is, there's one divine mind. So it doesn't matter. All creation is all of our creation. So it doesn't even matter. So back to this issue. So somebody, in the coaching industry, it depends. You may have a 5% rescind rate. Maybe people stop making their payments, or maybe they choose to, not be happy with the program or whatever it is. We're very lucky. We only have about 1 out of 100 people that we feel really we just don't vibe with. Everyone else we have a really great relationship with, but it does happen. People will make excuses because this is what they do. It's the ego, it's the mini me trying to stay small. And the truth is that when you're committed, commitment doesn't have contingencies. So, for example, I watched a lot of my friends that are committed to health and working out over the pandemic. The gyms were closed. There was all kinds of excuses to sit around and eat extra food and hang out and not move the body. And my friends that were committed to working out found a way to work out. They'd work out in their house. They'd go out into the park. They'd do whatever it is that they need to do. They would find a way because they are committed. And commitment doesn't have contingencies, right? Commitment is commitment. You're either committed or you're not committed. So one of the biggest disservices you can do for your clients is say, to let them off the hook, basically. There's a commitment level on both sides from the client and the coach. And then it takes two minds to override the subconscious mind. We do this also in deep processes like trauma work. It's actually the intentions of two minds that come together that will override whatever is the programming, whatever is the limited belief as well. So it's important as a coach for us to get committed to our clients being committed. And it's important to have contracts in place. It's important when you're onboarding your clients to have them realize how important how they show up to their coaching program is how they show up to life. Do they come up with excuses? Do they not see things through? Do they make people wrong? Do they make the program wrong? Because if they're doing it one area, they're probably doing it in all areas. So my advice for this client is for you to have a really heart-to-heart conversation with your client. That doesn't mean you don't have compassion or empathy for what they're going through, but you come back to why commitment, why being their coach is actually helping them by helping them get committed and seeing through things even when it's hard, okay? I've been teaching even in, say, our community for 3 years solid, okay? I taught for decades before that with one-on-ones and in different processes, but in New Thought Global and Society, in the actual coaching, I have taught for almost 3 years consistently. I have had to reschedule one meeting over 3 years, and I train and develop like 4 courses throughout the week, every week, right? So yes, I mean, there's been times when it's been hard. Yes, there's been whatever, but that's called commitment. And you just show up and you do it. And so part of the development with our clients is they want to monetize their spiritual gifts, or they want to do whatever it is in their growth. Maybe it's being stable in their relationship, or maybe it's being stable in their health practices. Maybe it's being stable in doing a spiritual practice. The point is that life rewards and is a reflection, right? So whatever we're showing up, it's going to show the mental equivalent. If you want clients that are willing to pay high ticket pricing, then you need to be willing to pay high ticket pricing. If you want clients that are very decisive, then you need to be decisive. If you want clients who are committed no matter what, then you need to be committed no matter what. This is universal law, and this is the truth. So today I give advice for anybody that's having clients that want to make excuses to not show up in commitment. Commitment is what life reflects. The universe just says yes. And if we're getting mixed messages, it's because we're giving out mixed messages. So commitment is a yes. That's what it is. And it's a yes with no contingencies. And commitment is our greatest power because it is basically a decision in mind that directs energy and reflects back exponentially with total certainty, total clarity, total precision. And so as we go through this today, I'm doing a short podcast today, because I like little chunks. You can take a little walk, get a little inspiration, a little motivation, and move on with your day. So may you know the truth, and may you find your deepest passions and be committed to that. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, as we say. And at the same time, saying yes to everything, discovering what your true passions are. So on this note, I just say yes to this, yes to you, yes to this day. Also a reminder, we do have a 5-day challenge coming up. So if you're ready to say yes to monetizing, it's a 5-day challenge to monetize as a spiritual entrepreneur. So whether you are desiring to bring your spiritual gifts to the world, if you have no idea what you want want to do, it's a great way. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to get clear of your mission and message, how to price your products, how to master sales, how to master social media, and how to 10x your soul-based business, even if you don't even have anything yet, or whether you're already a seven-figure coach. It doesn't matter if you have a product or a service. It's going to teach you front to back how to monetize. Okay, you guys, have a beautiful day and may you live your truth. And if you're listening to this podcast or if you're on YouTube or whatever you're doing, please share it, like it, and comment. It's really important for us to support the people that we love. And I love you too. Okay, have a beautiful day and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning into the Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a spiritual calling or desire to get certified as a spiritual coach or a world-renowned spiritual leader, go to newthoughtglobal.com. If you've received value from this show, I would love it if you share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review. Also, we have spiritual practitioners that are trained to deliver the E4 trauma method and assist you in birthing your truth. So let's be friends on social media. Again, my handle is draaron.tv across all social media. Have a beautiful day and may you live your truth.